In this lesson, we're going to talk about humidity, and we're going to go over what type of levels we want to see our humidity at in our home. So humidity just means how much moisture is in the air, and it's measured on a percentage scale from 0% being no moisture in the air to 100% being maximum moisture in the air. And we're looking to stay in the 35% to 55% range. And there's a number of health reasons why this is the case. You can see here on this chart, bacteria and viruses thrive on both ends of the spectrum. So if it's too dry or too moist, fungus, dust mites, mold, they thrive in moist environments. Respiratory infection, more common in the dry environments. So we want to stay in that sweet spot, that 35 to 55% humidity. Now, this is going to be something that you're going to need to measure to really get an idea as to what percentage you're at. I've included some links for some really effective, cheap ways that you can check your humidity. These ThermaPro meters right in the middle here are, I think, about $6 online at the moment, and I can test their effectiveness against my much higher quality humidity meter, and they do a pretty close job, and they can really give you a good idea as to where your levels are in your space. So you might be in a hot, humid climate, and this is where humidity is coming in, but even just our daily activities within our home contribute to our moisture load. Being within a home for people, breathing moist air out all day can add quite a bit of water vapor into the air. Other things like hang drying our clothes, showering, bathing, they all contribute to our moisture load. If you are in an area that is too humid and you're finding that your levels are too high in your home, you're going to have to pull some of that moisture out. So you're going to need dehumidification. So I've included the dehumidifier that I use, does a great job, and it's a big 50-pint one. You're going to want something this large if your humidity is too high. The smaller ones that you can put on your countertop don't pull out enough air to really make a dent in the levels of your home. Just make sure with the dehumidifiers that you're emptying them regularly. You can also put a hose and directly drain them into a drain if that's possible in your space. And checking the filter on them is all important upkeep for a dehumidifier. But it's amazing how much water they can pull out. I live in a humid climate here, and I can sometimes empty it 3 times a day. So that's 150 pints of moisture pulling from the air in my place every single day. So it's pretty crazy. Now, if you are showering, this is putting some hot air in your bathroom. So if you're already too humid, you want to run the exhaust fan for 15 minutes after your shower, cracking the window in your bathroom as well to allow for some replacement air. That's a good way to bring some of the moisture out. But if you're in an environment that is too dry, so if your humidity is too low, you got to get a little bit creative to bring some moisture back into your space. So after a shower, you can, instead of using the exhaust fan, you can get a stationary fan and blow some of that humid air into other areas of your home. You can also use on the dry, if you have a dishwasher, don't use the drying cycle, but open it up at the end of its cycle and allow that humid hot air to come into your space. You can dry your clothes by hanging them up inside. You can get lots of plants and ensure they're properly watered to increase some moisture. And you can also get a spray bottle and just mist some water into your space, being careful where it lands, obviously. These are all ways that you can bring some humidity back into your space. But really important air quality is looking at the humidity and ensuring you're somewhere in that 35 to 55%.